Well, you might know someone participating in Dry January this year, or you may be taking a break from alcohol yourself. Many participants sign on to be healthier, to cut back on their drinking, or to simply start the year with a clear mind. Well, studies show the benefits of this challenge last well into the new year. For more, I'm joined by Anahad O'Connor, a health columnist who wrote about this for the Washington Post. Welcome to you, Anahad. You know, I've been seeing this in my social media feed, all of the folks talking about taking part in Dry January. What are some of the health benefits of participating in this?
Yeah, so there have been studies on thousands of people who've participated in Dry January, and they've shown that people report everything from saving money by doing Dry January to having more energy. People report sleeping better. 6 out of 10 people report losing weight, having better concentration, having better skin. People are often surprised by the benefits that they see during Dry January.
That's quite a list. I mean, Dry January lasts only a month. How do these health benefits extend into the new year?
Yeah, so studies have also followed people 6 to 8 months after they've completed Dry January, and they find that more often than not, they continue drinking less, even if they resume their drinking. So they're drinking less frequently. On days when they do drink, they're consuming less alcohol. They report getting drunk less often. And one of the main reasons why is because people see these benefits. You know, they see what it's like to have better sleep, to lose weight, to have more energy, better concentration, and they want to continue that. So 6 to 8 months later, you see people continuing to consume less alcohol after doing Dry January or another sobriety challenge.
I mean, January is the time when we all try to make these kinds of resolutions, right? But how many people actually succeed at Dry January? Or is this the kind of thing like a gym membership where people, you know, tend to go hard at the beginning and then by about mid-January, February, they're like, okay, we're not going to continue this anymore?
So there are definitely people who fall into that bucket. But surveys have shown that about 3/4 of people who sign up for Dry January actually complete it successfully. But what's interesting is studies show that even people who do not go the whole month of January without having a drink still report these benefits and oftentimes still end up drinking less, after the month of January. So people still see these benefits, even if they're not completely dry during January.
You know, the data is so interesting. So for people who are listening to this and maybe thinking about this, what are some tips that you have to stay dry this month?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can boost your chances of success doing Dry January. One of the most important is to have social support. Studies show that people who do it with a friend or who download the Dry January app, which is free and it's called Try Dry, those people are actually more likely to succeed because when you're doing it, with a friend, you have that social support. When you're signing up for it and registering and you're downloading the app, you're getting, sort of coaching messages that are cheering you on. And you also get this experience that you're part of a larger thing. Another thing that can help is, finding a new favorite drink. A lot of people that I've spoken to who have, successfully completed Dry January and other sobriety challenges say that oftentimes, they drink at night just out of habit. But if you can replace that glass of wine that you're used to having in your hand at dinner with, a glass of sparkling water, or maybe some sparkling water with a dash of cranberry juice, that can get you out of the habit of just mindless drinking. And there's a lot of other things as well you can do.
All right, Anahad O'Connor, it's a lot of benefit I'm hearing. I have to ask, are you taking part in Dry January?
Yes, I have done it before, and I've seen these benefits. The most motivating one for me was the better sleep. I'm a dad with 2 little kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and being able to keep up with them in the morning and not feeling sleep deprived or nursing a hangover is definitely worth going sober for a little while.
Yeah, as a parent, those early alarm clocks that we call children really can motivate you to try the Dry January thing. All right, Anahad O'Connor, a pleasure talking to you.
I'm up at 5 in the morning. So.
Thanks so
a lot.
much,
I appreciate it.